Hi, it's Tea Ladies here with my holiday baking video. A few days before Christmas, my daughter had all of us over, old men, teenage boys, everyone, the whole family, to make these little Target untrimmed gingerbread houses. And then we had a contest to see who won. And I did very well with the Santa sled, a Santa Hershey kiss with a pack of toys, little reindeers on a sled with candy cane runners. I may have won. This was a kit that I did with my granddaughter. It was called a bling gingerbread house. And of course, everything they gave us to work with didn't work, but we ended up with this. I wanted to tell you about some really great packaged cookies that you should buy and not bother making. One is this Florentine from Lidl. It's incredible. It's mostly nuts, chocolate on the backside, very crispy, addictive. This is a Lebkuchen, also from Lidl. I made these from scratch one year. It's like a honey gingerbread with candied fruit in it and a sugar glaze. On the back, you might find chocolate, or you might find a thing that's like a communion wafer that they bake on. It took 3 days to make these from scratch. A lot of process, and they were hard. You had to store them with cut apples for them to get soft. And these are really good. So the other thing that is interesting, these little cookies that sit on the side of a mug are great. I got these at Trader Joe's, but you can also find similar ones at World Market, I think. Okay. Now I would like to tell you about the cookies I baked this year. This one is all over YouTube. It's called an Afghan biscuit. It has cornflakes in it. It's very chocolatey, popular in New Zealand. There's no reason to call it an Afghan biscuit. And has a big walnut on top. This was a pre-made little cup of pastry, and I just put some honey and walnuts in it. This was the same dough, traditional block of cream cheese, 2 sticks of butter, touch of salt, and at least 2 cups of flour or more, depending to get a workable dough. You roll it on powdered sugar and cut it out. This one has caraway seeds rolled in it, which look like little pine cones on the tree. And you dust them with powdered sugar. I guess I could have made that green. This is an Eastern European recipe that my grandmother got from a church cookbook. This one is a shape of a tree ornament, and I put apricot jam on it, which was traditional. You could do the Linzer sort of cut, with the hole in the middle. But I stuck a dried fruit fig from Trader Joe's on the cookie on top of the jam before I baked it. It was very interesting that way. There's a third variation on this, and it's to cut the dough in a square, put honey and nut mixture, and then fold it up or roll it in a horn. This was your typical American cookie that everybody made, a chocolate chip cookie with the red and green M&Ms on it. And that's the one the kids like the best. But the reason I'm making this video, I invented something pretty great. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. Over here, we have the Betty Crocker cookbook, sugar cook recipe. And we use Kerrygold butter, which gave it a great flavor. It's a traditional Dalahorst cookie cutter from Sweden. These things are part of our holiday, too. They're crackers. You have to sing Auld Lang Syne, standing in a circle. It's an English tradition. And then everybody holds the end of a popper. You all pull at once. And inside, there are games and riddles and little prizes. Now, here comes the thing I invented this year, which I think is really great. It's a traditional shortbread that in traditional shortbread proportions, like 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of butter, a half a cup of sugar. And I did butterscotch shortbread, so I did half brown sugar, half white sugar on that half cup. And I make these every year. They last forever. They don't go stale like all the rest of these cookies. They develop a better flavor. There's no eggs or anything that's going to spoil. It's just the sugar, butter, and flour, a little vanilla. But I had Rolos left over, candy, and I had dates. And what I did was I broke the dates in half, sort of shaped them into a little ball, and I rolled this dough take a piece smaller than a golf ball, more like a cocktail meatball. Roll it around the date or the Rolo, which of course you have to unwrap. Certainly don't leave the tin foil on it. And then put those on the cookie sheets, just flattened out a little bit. I used parchment paper and I baked them at 350. You don't have to worry about these getting underdone because there aren't any raw eggs in them. And this is what I came up with, and it's absolutely fantastic, delicious cookie. Let's see if this one is a Rolo or a date. This one is a date, but the Rolos were equally delicious. So that's my Christmas cookie discovery this year. Bon appetit.